When we have those negative thought patterns and negative thoughts, it's so important for us to take a step back and take a brain break. It's literally been said that if you take 3 slow, deep breaths, you can shift your entire energy. If we don't take these brain breaks and clear our head, it can very easily lead to overwhelm or anxiety. Guys, I just want to share with you a couple of tips about how to introduce mental self-care into your day-to-day. So mental self-care is just as important as physical self-care. So what do I actually mean by that? Our minds can be incredibly overactive every day. We have a lot of things going on in our life, right? We have personal things, we have work things, we have family things, worries, things that we're concerned about. And all of that noise in our head can very easily have us gravitate to negative thoughts and negative thought patterns. So when we have those negative thought patterns and negative thoughts, it's so important for us to take a step back and take a brain break. So what is a brain break? Well, a brain break is really just finding a space to step back into and move away from all the ruminating that we typically do. So we can't actually do something different if we first don't acknowledge it. So we can't avoid it. Like, don't step over what you're dealing with. Don't step over the fact that like you have all these thoughts going on in your mind and you don't know like where to go first, what to focus on. It's just overwhelmed. So we have to get present to how we're doing. We have to get present to the fact that you have like 10 browsers in your brain open at the same time and you're trying to juggle it all. So the first thing to do on that brain break is to just slow down. And I know it's hard because I'm one of those people where if I have a lot going on, I just know I say to myself, I'm just going to go, 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 and I'm going to bang things off my list so that I can breathe. But that might not be the best solution. Actually, I've learned that's not the best solution. So the magic is really in slowing down. It's counterintuitive though, because we don't want to slow down. So when we slow down and dial it back, we can actually make the time to clear our head, maybe sit down, savor a meal, like really enjoy what you're about to eat and like focus on that experience. For me, like I'm so busy, I decided to get a puzzle and put it at my dining room table. So when I needed a brain break, I could just grab a cup of tea or a cup of coffee and sit down and just play with the puzzle and try to completely disconnect for maybe 10 minutes to just clear my head, because there's a lot of stuff going on in our lives. And if we don't take these brain breaks and clear our head, it can very easily lead to overwhelm or anxiety. The other thing we could do is we can maybe look lovingly at someone that we have in our life that we adore and like really think about why we adore them. I do that with my pets all the time. Like, why do I like this crazy little fur ball? What is it about them that makes me smile? And just appreciate the little things about them that I adore, because in that moment when you're focusing on that, you're not focusing about everything else. And then practice slow breathing. It's literally been said that if you take 3 slow, deep breaths, you can shift your entire energy. So if you're feeling that anxiety or that upset, just gently close your eyes and do 3 really deep breaths, and you will start to be able to relax yourself and help yourself. They actually did that in classrooms with students where there was a lot of energy. They just had them do 3 deep breaths and it shifted the energy in the entire classroom. So if it works with little kids, then it can definitely help us clear our head and center ourselves. And then the one thing I do love to share with people when it comes to the ruminating and how do we get out of the loop of ruminating and worrying about the same thing over and over is creating a pattern interrupt. So what do I mean by a pattern interrupt? Well, pattern interrupt is really where you have a go-to. So you have something, maybe it's in your phone, you have it bookmarked or you have it highlighted someplace where when you notice that you're starting to focus your thoughts acutely on one thing and you're going down a rabbit hole, and if you don't stop yourself, it's going to go to a dark place, then grab your pattern interrupt. For me, it's a funny video or it's a informational video or it's an awesome song I can't get enough of. Like, I put on certain music here in my place and I find myself dancing around. Whatever it is, have a pattern interrupt in your holster that you can lean on that can really help pull you out of that before you go and you continue ruminating for a longer period of time, and then you start to feel worse. Have that in your holster to help you really feel good, preserve your well-being, preserve how you're feeling. We want to make sure that you're feeling as good as you can possibly feel, and so having these little tips and tricks in your pocket should make a really big difference for you.